We are the Gujarat Technological University. Since its inception over a decade ago, GTU has been empowering young and curating minds to realize their true potential. Over 4 lakh inspired students are enrolled with one of the premier academic universities in India. With more than 450 affiliated colleges in its fold operating across 5 zones of the state, GTU, the International Innovative University, your place to move forward.
Hello students, welcome to my video lecture. In today's lecture, we will learn 2 very important file handling functions, and they are fprintf function and fscanf function. Though both the functions are similar to sprintf and scanf function, but the only difference is that with the help of fprintf and fscanf function, we can read and write a data in a file in a proper tabular structure. So let us try to understand fscanf function and fprintf function. We have already explained string related similar functions in my earlier video lectures. The same thing I am going to use over here. See, I have taken few attributes of student entity, that is the name of the student, city of the student, enrollment number of the student, branch code of the student, and the semester of a student. As you can see right now, I have taken one file pointer, that is pointer fp, which I will use for reading and writing operation. Okay, now I am opening a file. fp is equals to fopen // myreq.txt w. So as you can see right now, there is no myreq kind of file over here. Whatever file will be created, that will be created at this location. Fine. So if that file is not available, then it will create a new file for me. So in the first step, or in other words, I can say due to some technical reason, or let's say the file is already being used by the another application, my C program could not be able to open that file in a particular mode, then it will print this message and terminate my code, right? But if the file is successfully created, then I will come to this particular statement and I will ask for the user to enter the number of records to be stored. Okay, so whatever number user will provide to my program, that many times this for loop will get executed and it will take one by one all these 5 attributes from the user, and at the end with the help of fprintf function, it will store all the data provided by the user to a particular file mentioned in fp pointer. Okay, so this is quite similar to sprintf. In earlier video you might have seen, instead of fprintf I have written sprintf. S stands for string and f stands for file. Okay, in both of these two kind of functions, that is fprintf and sprintf, we need to take care of file formatting string. Okay, or you can say the formatting string. Fprintf function is also having 3 parameters. The first parameter is the file pointer, or you can say the stream to which you would like to print the data. In my case, a file is the stream, so I have specified file pointer. Then my format stream. See, at last I have mentioned /n because I would like to differentiate between 2 records stored in a file. That is why at the end of each record, program will automatically add a new line character so that all the records will be stored in line by line. Okay, they will not collide with each other, they will not mix up with each other. That is why I have written /n over here. And these are the 5 attributes to be stored in a file. After completion of writing operation, I have to close the file pointer, okay, with the help of fclose fp. Similarly, I am opening the same file for reading. Now you can see I have opened that file in read mode. Okay, the same thing will be there. Okay, only the difference is that instead of for loop, because now we don't know that how many records are there in my file. Okay, so that is why I have taken help of f end of file function. Actually, it tells me that whether end of file is there or not. So what I have written over here, while it is not f end of file, then it should read the data from the file. Okay, so as you can see, the syntax for fscanf and fprintf are quite similar. fprintf is also having 3 attributes and fscanf is also having 3 attributes. First argument is file pointer, second argument is format string, and the third argument is parameter list, or you can say the variable list. Okay, so this is quite same. The only difference is that in fprintf function we don't need to provide, or we don't need to write ampersand anywhere, because in this function we are trying to write something to a string, whereas in scanf type of function we would like to extract the data from the given string. Okay, so that is why if we have any float or integer kind of variable, then we need to write down ampersand. If we are having string kind of, or you can say the character array kind of variables, then it is not required to mention ampersand. Fine. Now this while loop will get executed until I reach to the end of file character, right? And as you can see over here, it contains same. The purpose of this program is to take data from the user, store them to a file, and I should be able to read those data from the file as well. Okay, so let us try to execute the code. Till now you can see no file called myrack.txt is there. Okay, now as soon as I execute the code, you will be able to see a file called myrack.txt. See, my program has already started the execution, and you can see myrack.txt has been created. Fine, it contains 0 bytes. Till now I haven't entered anything. Let's say I would like to insert 6 records. Record number 1, 1968603070001. Suresh, city Surat, semester number 2, branch code 7, 1968603060001. Janak, city Bharuch, semester number 2 and branch code 6, 1968603090001. Mahesh, Ahmedabad, semester number 2 and branch code 09. Fourth record 1968603190001. Karan, city Navsari, semester number 2, branch code 19, 19686030003070002. Ganesh, city Valsad, semester number 2, branch code 7, and this will be my last record, that is 1968603090002. Hamid, city Ankleshwar, semester number 2 and branch code 9. As you can see, I have entered 6 records, but still it contains 0 bytes. Okay, as soon as I press enter key. Now you can see data has already been inserted. Now it has started reading the data from the file. Now before that, let me show you the content of a file. As you can see over here, it contains 1 KB myrec.txt. When I open this file, as you can see, it contains all the records provided by the user. Fine. So I hope you understand it very well. Once again, I am reading the same file in a same sequence. This is my first record. This is my second record. This is my third record. See, reading operation is taking place with the help of fscanf function, and writing operation was performed with the help of fprintf function. Right? This was my fourth record. Fifth record, as you can see over here, record number 2, record number 3, record number 4, record number 5, and the last one will be my record number 6. Okay, and that's it. Fine. I hope you understood it very well. Once again, have a look of a code. So, I hope you understood the concept of fprintf and fscanf very well in this example. Thank you. Thanks again. Thanks for watching my video. Actually, I forget to change the label in printf statement, that is writing data using fprintf function and reading data using fscanf function. So let us execute the code one more time. Now at this time I will provide 3 records in it: 19686030601, Ramesh, city Surat, semester 2, branch code 6. 1968603070001, Janak, city Navsari, semester 2, branch code 7. 1968603090001, Haren, city Valsad, semester 2 and branch code 9. Right? So as you can see, these are the new data whatever I have inserted just now, and as you can see, the same 3 records are there in my file. So the record, or you can say the file, will be overwritten out once we re-execute the code. Okay, this was my first record, second record and third record. I hope you understood this code very well. Thank you. Thanks for watching this code.